The synagogue shootings have shocked the nation and devastated the victims' families. The grieving process can be a long one, but psychiatrist M. Catherine Shear says there are several things people need to do to be able to move forward in their lives after a loss like this.
Understand grief and accept it. Tell the story of what happened. People need really to tell it to themselves and to other people, kind of over and over, so it can sink in. And the last thing is to think about how they can move forward without that person.
Dr. Shear is a professor of psychiatry at Columbia University. She says if people don't go through that process, they might get stuck imagining the what-ifs of this situation. In this case, what if my loved one didn't attend synagogue that day? She says that, plus avoiding reminders of their loved one and a crippling fear about not grieving enough, can be signs of complicated grief or prolonged grief disorder. That's what Stephanie Moldberg endured 15 years ago when her son Eric died. The 13-year-old battled cancer for more than a year before he lost his life.
I was avoiding everything. I couldn't go back to Temple, where the funeral was. I wasn't answering the telephone. I was just stuck.
Moldberg's friend lost two brothers in the deadly synagogue shooting, Cecil and David Rosenthal. She says she plans to use what she's learned about prolonged grief to help the Rosenthals through this difficult time.
Grief never ends. We just have to learn how to integrate it into our lives so that we can have a life of joy and satisfaction.
Experts say finding a way to be helpful is the best thing you can do when someone you know experiences the tragic loss of a loved one.
And I think a lot of people, when things like this do happen, feel helpless. And so, like, a way to feel better about that is to feel like you are doing something.
When the healing process doesn't naturally progress, seeing a professional is recommended. In Manhattan, Elise Finch, CBS 2 News.